Hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We would like to welcome you to another video of ours. And
Why
this
we
vid-
don't fight?
yes, we talked about it in the previous one. We'd like to cover the topic of why we don't fight and how do we do it. And first of all, I would like to say that we just shot the video in Russian, and now we are doing this in English. And for us, it's less natural to speak in English and to clearly develop our thoughts in English. So please forgive us.
Yeah, we will try.
We will try to say as much as we did in the Russian version. Yes, and so about fighting, and I think again we would like to first and foremost mention that that's not the only way to not fight. There may be a situation that like maybe you fight but still love each other, and it's like harmonious way for you to live like that, and that's good. At the same time, if you fight and you don't want to fight, maybe our example will help you. Basically, we believe that many fights they can be avoided, and maybe we can help you in understanding on how to avoid them. And why we don't fight? I like this phrase that you like a description that you invented about this.
Yeah, this phrase about you as a loving person. You actually, that's really difficult. It should be really difficult to offend a person you love, to make some negative things for him or her. Also, at the same time, it's really, you don't want to let this person feel guilt, because guilt is not a good emotions. And yeah, it's just about it, I think.
Because I think here it's, and we will I think cover this many times, because this is one of the crucial points of our life views, is about responsibility.
Self-responsibility.
Your personal responsibility, because like when we live in family, in any kind of society, but like now we talk about family, but you can also extrapolate it to, I don't know, your relations with your friends, but okay, with your loved one. If there is a conflict, there are almost always, both sides are not guilty but responsible.
Included somehow.
Yes, they have their own input to this conflict, and taking this into account, we can think about our own responsibility. Think about, what am I doing wrong? What have I done wrong? What have I said wrong? Like, just imagine if both sides, at the same time, they would just stop and think, what am I doing wrong? What do you think like this conflict will be, and if it will be at all? If everyone would think about what are their own steps, what are their own mistakes in this term.
It's also a very helpful thing just in usual life, according to many things, to think about what are you doing and why, and your approach for something, your emotions, and that's a good thing to control your emotions. And
I would also like to add here that here again about behaving and living in society and in a family as a society also. It is not about your own and only yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's about common, right? In a family, you don't think about I. You think about like us, yes, right? It's about again, it's this same old egoism,
Mm-hmm.
this same old ego that you should control actually, like in a good way, surely. It's not about like just suppressing your ego, but it's about this again taking responsibility for common good. Yes,
Yeah.
what can I do now for it to be better for all of us?
And put your ego in a right way, in a right place, to be more, but not to just suppress everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a good thing to we can be really many times. Actually, we can be just blinded. Yeah?
Blinded by something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We can be blinded by ourselves, our ego, our I don't know, our rights, and everything, like a lot of things. But it's always a good way to think, am I doing right really for everyone, for myself, doing these things, telling people these things, and just many things about our heart, about our approach to people. And it's always very helpful thing to just ask yourself, and it should be, if you will ask yourself, you need to be really honest with yourself. You need to be really honest in a family, because if you are not honest, it just will not work, and it will not be any good results for you, because it just don't be blind. And one thing, actually, it's from Bible. Very good saying is many of them. I can read because I knew it only in Russian. It's from Matthew. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
exactly about this.
Yeah.
Seeing more problems in others than in yourself. You better just work on yourself, and this way you will solve many problems. So technically, we can. It's one of the basic principles about being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
I just also thought about why these conflicts they like originally emerge, right? And I thought that maybe people just maybe you just don't have any kind feelings to the person you live with, and actually that's sad. And the question is why you do live with that person, or maybe it's just something with your heart and it should be worked on. But I think some other topics. Also, I think it's about being emotional and about having this intemperance when people just, they are just ignite with anger, with fury. Then again, why? Because they want to prove their own point. But again, we speak here about egoism. We can go back to egoism if we talk about like your own like truth. But
you need to control yourself.
Yes, again, it's about controlling your emotions. And again, it's not about suppressing them, because you can release them in many different ways. And,
yeah, come on, it's many techniques you can find on the internet, in a physical way, just mental way, like a lot of things that can be actually worked as releasing our emotions.
Yeah, for me, again, sometimes it's about like exact process of doing something. Like you can go somewhere, like, for a walk. You can, I don't know, I listen to metal music. But I think that still it is more about finding your foundation. And this foundation, actually, again, we will talk about this more in the next videos, what this foundation is, how it can be developed. But technically, if you have this strong foundation, and if these situations of conflicts, they emerge, that can influence you in some way, if you're like, this strong, you have this strong basis, heavy basis, you're not like far as a leaf on the wind, because if you have this foundation, it will not affect you that much. And again, we will talk about this foundation later. So you don't want to find yourself being easily imbalanced, right?
That's pretty difficult way to live this life.
Yeah, but again, it's the life is about taking responsibility, about if you live in society, and if you just care about other, right?
Yeah, it's also a thing what we want to highlight here about your family as a what it is for you. Maybe because we live in a so complicated, so difficult and painful world, and it's just an evidence, and that's good to have a place like physical and also in like energy state place for your heart, for your soul, for your like just physical body, to be at some safe place where you have just love, when like you live and you help each other to live this life, because it's not easy actually. I think that's really can be very painful sometimes, and why you need why you need to fight at home. You can nurture these good feelings, good place for you and for your loved ones. It just like that should be very natural to have this point in your life where you can be yourself and where you can be loved.
And I think it's also about being sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive to each other.
To each other, yes, because like if you love your person, right? You should be sensitive. You should feel these moments when the potentially negative emotions may arise, and you can prevent any conflicts by helping your person to like overcome this, right? It's like one of the techniques of avoiding conflicts is taking again the responsibility in helping your loved one to overcome these bad feelings. And I'm just hoping that it's not massive by till this point. But okay, I think that we
Cut some.
we already cut for the moment when people will watch it. They're already watching the cut version.
Okay, so I want to add here one important point, as I think, but for us, it wasn't kind of agreement what we will not have fight. So it wasn't we even haven't talked about it. I don't know. We just noticed it after a while, maybe after some years, but we still not like in a fighting or any anger to each other. So for us, it was really kind of very natural way, just do not have fight. And still sometimes it can be, some situations that you feel that you almost you're kind of like on an age to fight or to have some conflict, or you are close to each other in this kind of tension, or something. Or mostly it can be about perception, but you just said something and another person took took it in not a right way what you try to express. And it's just very common thing actually, like in everywhere. And because of perception, because of your feeling that time when person said something, but you already had some kind of state of mind, you were maybe like you was maybe in some anger a bit or sadness, and it's about also emotions, so it can be really many things just appeared, and you will have a fight after it. And sometimes we also have these small points, small things that we can go to fight after it, but we usually try to.
We just don't let them.
Yeah, it's kind of
like a spark.
Like a spark, but you as a person like who live this life in this physical world, you know what from spark it will be flame, right?
Yeah, you just see this spark and do this like.
Yeah, and it's also because of love and because of some techniques to express your emotions properly and to not harm each other. And if we have some conflict situations, usually it's not like it's mostly it's about tension, or maybe someone can say something rude, or I don't know, like it can be you're not sometimes you can be overwhelmed with something, and you can be just say something bad to your family members, not even thought something bad about them, but you had these problems somewhere.
Like outer influence, outer moments.
So usually in our case, we try to solve any problems exactly this day. So we are not just like letting this be with us for a while. So we try to solve it. And here again, you need to be sensitive to understand in which state of emotional, I don't know, way, let's say, this person or you are you able to talk now? Because mostly all the like tensions on conflicts, it can be solved just with talk.
Yeah, and I think not only those that appear in between us, but also those that if you have some these negative feelings because of your work, because of somebody, like I don't know, because of the world around, and you just pass through the day, you half a day walking like being with this negative emotion, and your loved person feels this. It actually helps just to talk. You release by this. You release these emotions, and the other person, being sensitive, can sense this in you, and it's your responsibility to feel this in your loved one and to help.
Yeah, it's very good thing to feel that someone need help, and you can just humbly make a space for these emotions, for helping this person to pass through something, because sometimes it can be really can be difficult to live. And it's so nice to be able, you need to be able emotionally to make this space for someone's bad emotions. So you can make it. And if you will feel that you're just too much, you also can just talk, just say that it's just too much for me now, and I try to help you, but now we are here in this point, and you're not releasing this emotion, so we need to do something with it, maybe in our way. And it's also about talking to each other honestly. That's one major point, to talk with each other, and it's not so very I don't know, fancy tool, just usual talk. But you need to be really honest with yourself and with each other. And also it's also a nice thing to in some conflicts, and for example in something, it usually mostly it works in this situation when something happened somewhere, I don't know, like very like daily life situations, and someone someone has anger after it, bad feelings, or I don't know, like I don't know, it can be for a while, it can be just in one moment, and it's always nice to remind ourselves and to remind to ourselves and a person who are in anger now, but all these things is not so important. So you're technically having anger because of, I don't know, like your glass falls and cracked. Right. I mean, just like, okay, you have this anger that just like let it be, but many things with.
But okay, for example, yeah, you have glass broken, but if it's also it also you can apply it to interpersonal emotions and other relations. I mean, like basically, I like this practice. Not the practice. It's not actually a practice. It's just some
Fancy tool.
fancy tool, fancy way. I sometimes just think this. I'm just trying to scale. I don't know, back or how is it scale back to see, like, you know, as the whole space, cosmos, and somewhere in this enormously limitless space, there is this little sphere, little ball, and even smaller dots, these little beetles, human, that have their own problems. Really, it's like it's so insignificant. It's so insignificant to spend your time, to waste your time on to waste your time on these, you know, fights.
Yeah.
Why?
Really. Why? Yeah. And you know, it's also a good thing to understand, but I don't know, people sometimes can fight, I don't know, because of some socks or
just, you know, your usual daily life moments about this,
yes, say, but you know,
washing dishes.
Yeah, but you know, if you will think about this person, your life and time for this life, we actually cannot be sure. Okay, that's another topic, but anyway, we have a limit of time in this life, and sometimes, not sometimes, usually we don't know how much time do we have here in this on this planet, in this body, in this family, in these relationships, and just to waste it because of something that's really important to understand if you love this person. And it can be that you will not see him or her, I don't know, like in 2 days. Come on, it's just almost all your fights will disappear because of it. Because if you really love someone, that's just need to nurture this person and your relationship, because it's just sacred thing to live together with life.
And as I just thought about, as I mentioned about like washing dishes or something like this, because I as I get it, conflicts sometimes start just out of ordinary things and really minor things. It's just to get to the point. Like, let's say, I don't know. Usually Victoria is washing dishes. Usually she washes dishes, and she likes to do it.
Yeah,
but
really
sometimes, okay, we even have a dishwasher. But sometimes, you know, there are just several plates, and it's not worthy to.
Or sometimes I just want to be in the water and wash them.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for example, she has a lot of work, or she has something other to do. She has her like creative projects, and she's like in this project. But we have, I don't know, these dishes that should be washed. It's not a problem for me at all to wash these dishes. Like, why should be that a problem? Or like vice versa. It's not a problem for her to, I don't know, wash my socks. I don't know, again. Yeah, everything. And also I thought about like sharing this a little maybe tool. Tool. We will use tool word a lot, I think, here, even though we don't like it.
Practice. It's
Practice.
Practice.
No, okay. I think I developed some this skill, either consciously or unconsciously. I think maybe some effort was in developing it. It's for these moments when this oral fight maybe. Not again, not a fight, but something is brewing, and you feel something is coming up, and I just stop talking, just silence. Just like turn on this silent mode. And actually I started to do this in order, mostly yes for you, but I think in rare occasions with other
it's
people.
It's a punishment.
Yeah, like for making another person to think that they are doing something in the wrong way. Let them think.
Can I make some point here? Because usually if he stop and he's quite in a silent mode, I started to talk more and do something like to talk about this and try to explain this situation, and suddenly I understand that he is quiet. And I think like, okay, so usually for me it's kind of alarm to think that's not a way and it's not a conversation and something went wrong here. And
and I realized that this time when I'm quiet, it's actually also, and again, first of all, it's for me to also use this time to think, to go deep into my heart or head, and to think, what am I doing wrong now? After all, again, it's all insignificant. I mean, all these fights, and you just think through and understand, like, why I even try to prove something here. Why, like, it there is no benefit in it. And I think that, sometimes people just get lost in these emotions while in the conflict. I think it's maybe also valuable to, in the moments when you are not in conflict, just to think about it. All these conflict moments, do they really solve something? Do they really matter? Do they really even do anything good for you and your family and your relations? Maybe thinking about this in the better times, you will be more prepared for the conflicts themselves. Yeah, something like this, I think. Basically, if like to sum up this, I would say that it's just realizing that it's so minor things, it's so insignificant, and also, but if they arise, you just take your own responsibility for the common good, for your family good, for finally, after all, you love your person. You love your person. You want good for your person. You want good for your for both of you. Like for you as a whole. For you two as a whole. Yeah, and just also try to control your emotions. Try to find this balance. But about balance again, we will talk a lot about this.
Yeah, in one phrase, just to be in balance.
Yeah, just be in balance, I think, like that. I think maybe we can stop here. And again, I really hope that we are decent enough in expressing our thoughts and like conveying, and it's not really messed here.
Yeah, we wish you really calm, peaceful, warm, and love, and a lot of love in your family, in your relationship with yourself and others.
And see you in the next videos.
Bye.